Hope all are doing well. Today is the 7th December 2025. I'm here to share with you today's most important and interesting news. So let's start without delay. First news. A 7.0 magnitude earthquake struck at Alaska and Yukon, and it's a very powerful tremor. So let's see both provinces located in where and it is in which country. So Alaska is a state of USA and Yukon it's a provision of Canada. USA and Canada share approximately 8,871 km border, and province Yukon and Alaska state of the USA both are located to the western side of the North America continent. Let's see the department. Geological Survey Department of America, it's given information of the earthquake, and Geological Survey Department of Canada, it's given information of the earthquake to the Canada. And this Geological Department of USA established in 1879. Let's see some history between the both countries. British colonial ruled on both countries, and thereon Canada and USA separated and established their country. Let's see the history of the USA. British colonial ruled on USA in the year of 1607. That time they start the ruled on the USA. Approximately 170 years they ruled on the USA, and finally thereon in the year of 1776 USA established a country with the Revolution War fight with the Britain. Thereon Britain start ruled on the Canada in the year of 1763. Approximately in the year of 1867, that time Canada established a country. Let's move over the next news. Next news about the Indonesia country. A flood struck at the Indonesia and more than 900 people were killed. Government had taken action immediately and to start ongoing work for the relief and to rescue the people from the flood. Let's see which department give information about the flood. Meteorological, climatological and geophysics, that department of the Indonesia give information to the all citizens of Indonesia. This department established in the 1963. I want to tell you the history behind the Indonesia. First Portuguese came and ruled the start on the Indonesia in the century of the 16th century. That era Portuguese ruled. But before 16th century they have the kingdom ideology were there and the king ruled on there. After Portuguese, then Dutch came, and 16th century to 1942, those all era ruled by the Dutch. But after 1942, Japan took control on the Indonesia and they ruled there. But they ruled only 3.5 years, that means 1942 to 1945. After World War II, when they surrendered, that time Japan left from the Indonesia and there again start the ruling from the Dutch. But Indonesia, their army fight against the Dutch approximately 4 years, and finally Indonesia established on the 17 August 1945 due to the pressure of the United Nations and the USA. Dutch can't control on there. Dutch colony established in the Switzerland. Switzerland is that country they have the all Dutch, and they wanted to rule on the Indonesia. Those are the history about that. Let's move to the next news. Next news about USA and India. USA Secretary Alison Hooker is the Minister of Environment, Economy, Trade, and he discussed regarding the trade issue with the India in that visit for the 5 days, and they discussed regarding the trade, how will be boosted the trade. In the year of 2024, 190 billion US dollar doing a trade between the both countries. But January 2025 to the November, the trade between the both countries approximately 132 billion dollar. So those trade will be boosted and it's necessary for the both countries. So that reason USA Secretary visited India. You know about the tariff which are put by the USA President Donald Trump, penalty 25% extra on India due to India purchase the crude oil from the Russia, and USA against the import and export with the Russia. So that reason USA President Donald Trump put a 25% firstly, but start April to August approximately there again 25%, then total 50% tariff on the Indian export product. So that reason USA Secretary Alison Hooker will be reported in India, and they will be discussed on the trade and climate change and also how boost their economy. Their ambition every year boost their trade approximately 100 billion US dollar. Until 2030 they will be boost the trade between both countries 500 billion US dollar. Let's just see what import and export between the both countries. India export to the USA medicine every year approximately 10 billion US dollar. Their on gems 8 billion US dollar. Then oil product 5 billion US dollar, electronic gadgets 10 billion US dollar. So those product of India exported to the USA. What USA export to the India? Crude oil and petroleum, oil and CNG. Those types of product approximately 15 billion US dollar USA export to the India, as well as fertilizer, chemical 10 billion US dollar, aircraft part 8 billion US dollar. So those all product export and import between the all countries, and this year 132 billion US dollar has been doing a trade since January to November, and their aim that trade will be pushed $500 billion until 2030. That reason, Secretary visited India and they ongoing their visit for the 5 days. Thank you so much, friend, who are listening and watching this video. Thank you so much once.